Hello and welcome to Truth Without Fear. I'm Martin, and today I want to touch on a subject that, well, sort of affects everybody, and most people don't like to talk about it. And no, I'm not talking about sex. No, that's a different post. I might go into that, but regardless. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is death and what happens, and what I think happens, and how we should all approach it because it's something we're not going to avoid. Well, some people do, but we won't go into that. But generally, most of us people, most of the planet go through the usual cycle of living until something kills you or you die at whatever age from something. And a lot of it's to do with poisoning and anything else. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen sooner or later. So, what I thought I'd talk to you about is what I think occurs. Now, I have looked into a lot of things, and I know we do get this tunnel of light thing going on. We get all sorts of angels or something, depends on your belief system, really, what you see. And you get all sorts of different things presented to you, including your life review, your karma review. Oh dear, you've done all these horrible things. Look at how you made that person feel and get a guilt trip, all sorts of other things that will convince you then to go on and possibly go and do the cycle all over again. Or so I've heard with these with Enki and his system and so on, that you can get offered to move up a level, you can become a spirit guide, you don't actually have to be a physical thing anymore. You're still in the matrix, still in the system, still under control. And the more you progress on these levels, then the more you're controlled. Yet again, you've agreed to do all sorts of crap, or you've agreed to join this group doing all sorts of crap, or whatever. Yeah, still part of the matrix. And this is also what I understand is what ascension's all about. Now, I don't know. I don't like to think, I don't really buy into most things, so I don't like to take on other people's opinions. But I will take on other people's opinions, but I try and discern. And anyway, what I've heard is that Enki's still in charge, still around. Yeah, look him up. There's lots of stuff about him. So, but that he runs the Matrix. I don't know who's behind him, but apparently he's still running the Matrix. Most of it we don't get to see because we're locked into these 3D shells, so we get to see things after we die. Now, whatever we get presented with, which obviously I don't know, I haven't been there, I'm not going to believe any of it. And I don't believe any external beings, especially at that point. I mean, you got to treat external beings like people you meet down the pub. They're still people at the end of the day. Beings are people, same as people. People have their own agendas. Now, some people are nice people, they just want to help you. Some people might pretend they want to help you. And some people downright don't want to help. Well, literally want to hinder you, want to hurt you, whatever. There's all sorts of different people about. So you can't actually trust what you find. And I think we'll get presented with a lot of things that appeal to us. I mean, I might even have food of trying to appeal to me, to bring me in somehow. But you'll get loved ones, you'll get angels. If you expect to see angels, you're going to see angels. You'll get your spirit guides. Now, I'm not saying they're not there because they might well be the spirit guides that you know, if you know your spirit guides. But they also might be imposters and anything, I think, until you escape the grid, until you actually get out of this matrix, it's all bullshit or potentially bullshit. So I think you need to take on the intent of I want to escape the grid, I want out of the matrix. and I don't accept anything apart from me, and I'll only accept being me. So will yourself out of the matrix. Do not buy into any karmic journey. Don't go down any tunnel of light. Don't go into some waiting room, or don't let anybody tell you what to do or even advise you what to do. They might have good intentions, and I'm not saying they haven't, but you don't need anybody's advice and you don't need anybody's authority. You are the highest authority. Don't need anything external. So believe in yourself, will yourself outside of the matrix, outside of the grid, if you like. I mean, I prefer outside of the matrix because we could be fooled into thinking we've gone out of the grid and still be in the matrix. Yeah, we live in an illusory reality where we are also the illusion. So you can't know at this point. Hence, I want to become myself and escape the matrix. And then, once I've become a higher version of me, which I have known briefly and I'm not going into again, then I can choose what I want to do. Because it may well be I want to come back to this planet, get minds wiped, and do it all over again. I don't know because I'm not the higher version of me. But I personally don't want to buy into being another slave again. You know, I've had probably stupid amounts of lifetimes being a slave. So I don't need to do that shit again. Excuse my language, but I don't. So I am just going to be me. That is my intent. And my intent is to leave the grid. And once I have both, then maybe I'll listen to externals. At least, still use my discernment. But while you're still in this matrix, do not trust anything. And don't fall into the trap that everybody does, which convinces you to agree because they need your consent to come back, do things, help people. I mean, you can help people if you want, but I wouldn't do it from that point of view. Escape the grid first and then decide if you want to go back and help people. Yeah, you might have to come to arrangements and contracts and similar such things, but I still recommend connect to you first. And when you are the consciousness that knows all of your own consciousnesses and has a connection to the rest of the universe, then you know your higher self. Then you got a decent perspective. Right now you haven't. You don't know shit. Yeah, doesn't matter how long you've lived. You don't know shit. You can't know shit. It's not possible. So don't beat yourself up for it. But at that point, you are basically confused. You don't know the world that you're suddenly plunged into because it's a completely alien world to the one that you've been used to your entire life. So people can't prepare for that. You don't get the opportunity to. All you can do is study things, get an idea of what's going on. And I do think it actually, there's a good episode of Star Trek, Voyager, where Janeway is convinced that she's dead and that she's got to leave everybody. And she's not having it. So, don't know which episode it is. You'd have to look it up. It's a very good episode. That kind of stuff will be going on, I'm sure. You've just got to cut off perception of everything, ignore everything, and focus, leaving the grid, becoming yourself. And once both of those are achieved, then you're free. And you're free to do what you want and maybe go somewhere else next time. There's a lot of other places you can visit. We're not limited to this little pissant corner of the universe. So, yeah. Anyway, there's my thoughts on death. I might do a part two to this because I don't think I've really gone into it the way I should have done. So I may do another post very soon. Anyway, this is Truth Without Fear, and the website's truthwithoutfear-hyphenated.co.uk. Have a look at my posts, have a look at whatever I decide to put up there. I'm just trying to get info out. So, yeah, hopefully I'll inform people of things. And yeah, spread this video around, share it, whatever. Get people to listen to me if you can. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. All I want to do is get info to the masses and try and change the mindset of people that need their mindset changing. Anyway, so look forward to seeing you again, and I will talk to you very soon.